That's it, man. Like in marriage and everything. So I'm excited to be here. Whatever format questions, what you want to run through, I'm all ears here for the next. I don't think I have anything until about 5:30 my time, which is an hour and 20 minutes. So we're rocking and
Perfect.
rolling. We're good. And I think I froze kind of in a second in the camera, but I'm still here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it just froze on me for some reason.
Yeah. I'll turn it
It's
back on, see
saying
if that helps.
yeah, and it's saying connecting. It usually says recording. I'm hoping that it's recording because everything you said was true and good. And so
It's
uh
good. We're back. We're good, dude. It's
yeah,
working. So
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's recording. I hate doing that, but let's see.
it says live. I just don't know if it's recording or not. But that'd be funny. We go through an
It
hour
does
and
say
20
live.
minutes.
Okay. If it
Yeah, it
says
says
live
live.
on
Yeah, it says live at the top. So
okay. Yeah,
it's all
we should
right.
be good.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we should be good. All right. If we have to run it back, we'll run it back. If that's
Yeah, we'll run
okay.
it back. I'm yours, bro. It's all good. Family
Cool,
for
man.
life, dog. We'll get this figured out.
Right on. So yeah, great kickoff. You're totally agree with you in that it's very hard to explain, and especially because everybody, like you said, has an experience from the outside, and then when you come inside, it's it is what you expect it to be, but it's also totally different. And so maybe we can talk a little bit about that. And so I am going to record just kind of a formal intro for anybody who hasn't been a part of the podcast. This is Done on Purpose podcast. And so this podcast exists to encourage, enrich, and empower you, the listener, to live life on purpose. And we do that through the means of communication, community building, and when you do have strong communication, strong community building, you build stronger companies, whether that's the company that you're building or the company that you keep. And I like to communicate through the language of frameworks. I like to learn through the language of frameworks, and have created and curated over the years acronyms. We've got over 200 of them right now, and a lot of them I write myself, but you can find all that on poweracronym.com. If you're watching this, that's where you probably are. But if you're just listening on the podcast, you can check out poweracronym.com. And so I wanted to container this conversation in in the framework that Andy's got in his book, Total Recreation. I've got it right here for the
Love
visual
it.
people. And so it's always fun. It's always a fun surprise because you never know when you're going to find an acronym. And, in coaching and personal professional development space, you do find them quite often. But I've never seen on YouTube or Instagram or anything Andy saying what warrior stands for and what it is, and he never teaches on it or anything, but it is in the book, and it's like the whole spine of the book. And so just a we'll get to that, but before we walk through the warrior framework,
Yes.
because I'm creating that as power acronym 247 um for Elliott 24/7. I just thought it was a good,
I love it.
brandable
Yeah.
deal.
Fire.
I want to get to know you a little bit more, Luke, because we've talked a lot, but we haven't gotten to know each other very much. And this also gives the audience a chance to kind of understand who you are and where you're coming from. So,
Yeah.
um, so who are you and what do you do at the Elliott Group? Is it just a simple question?
Yeah, it's great, man. Well, honor to be here. I love this. I love conversations. I love growing. And so my name is Luke Nelson. I guess a 30,000 foot view of who I am is number one. I'm a sinner saved by the grace of God. We'll just say that first of all. There's instances throughout my entire life that don't make sense for me still being here. Some my choices, some not my choice. But at the end of the day, my name is Luke. I'm 36 years old. I've spent a decade in the automotive industry working for Toyota. And I'm married, been married 11 years to my wife, Kaylee. Have three kids: Bodie, Ivy, Ezra, 10 years old, 8 years old, 3 years old. And I feel like sometimes I got the easy part. I just got to go to work, right? My wife has about 47 different part-time jobs, laundry agent, full-time driver, valet driver, chef, short order cook, nighttime specialist. She does it all. But
Emergency room?
emergency room, she does it all. But I've been married 11 years, and the only way that I know how to give credit to where I'm at now in my life is number one, God. And number two, it's getting around the right coaches, mentors, and people. I spent from ages 18 to about 32 years old living in this perpetual loop and this perpetual cycle. In the automotive industry, I did fairly well, but the first 5 or 6 years that I was in it, I kinda just struggled. I just was doing it my own way. And on paper, I made some money, I had a house, lived with my in-laws, I had a good setup on paper, better than most, as they say. But internally, I was miserable. And, for my life, the struggles that I've been through, I struggled with alcohol up until about age, man, 2017 is when I quit, so that was about 8 years ago, and, that plagued my life. Um, Lies, deceit, destructions of relationships, my own selfishness, right? And so leading up into when I ran into a guy by the name of Andy Elliott about 5 years ago, the message that he was preaching, delivering, whatever you wanna call it, was speaking directly to me. And I saw him on a guy by the name of Brad Lee. You probably have heard of him, Brad Lee's podcast. He has a huge business up in Las Vegas area. But I was listening to his podcast one day, and there's this guy on there. I couldn't even see him. I could just hear him because I was listening to the audio version. And just his actually the voice. I mean, you've heard Andy's voice, you've seen his content. And when you hear something in somebody's voice that catches your attention, you kind of perk your ears up a little bit. And it's like he was speaking directly to me. It was crazy. Like it was like I was in the automotive industry, I was making good money, but I wasn't in very good shape. I wasn't close to God. My family and I, we weren't close. When I was at work, I was thinking about home. When I was at home, I was thinking about work. And dude, everything that he was saying, and Andy's conviction, the way he speaks, it was like, dude, it was just like bang, 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 just kept hitting me right in the heart. And at the end of the podcast, he gave out his phone number. And I was like, dude, this guy, like, what is this? This is crazy. But I heard the story. It related directly to my life, everything that I was going through. So he gave out his number, and I texted in. I texted in, just said, "Hey, my name's Luke. I saw you on the Bradley podcast. Everything you're talking about was like you were speaking directly to me. I would love to connect with you or somebody on your team." And I thought it was just like a joke, right? Like he gave out his phone number, whatever. About a day later, maybe even less than that, I get a text message from a random, I think it was like a Colorado number. I was like, "What the heck is this?" And it was Evan Macklin, the one of the first people that Andy brought in. And Evan was in the automotive industry for Nissan. Him and his brother were two of the top salesmen in the entire country for Nissan. And he reached out to me and started to get to know me, started to learn who I was. And it's like he knew what I was already going through. Him and Andy both, when I started connecting with them, they knew it. Why? Because they were just a few years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever, removed from that life. And when I heard Andy's message, when I connected with his team, I knew and felt them being real. They cared. They actually gave me information that I could apply right to my life, and I started to get results. I started to get in better shape. I was 300 pounds, bro. I'm 250 now. I'm 6'7". I'm a pretty big
You were
guy.
300 pounds?
I was 300 pounds over. I was like 308 was
Wow.
my heaviest. I'll send you a picture. Maybe you can throw a little slide in there. But alcohol, overeating, weed, like I was just trying to numb myself out, dude. That's all. That's all I was trying to do. And then that's why when Andy's message came to me, I like woke me up. Long story short, get connected with the twins. I trained with Andy for about almost 2 years before I even was offered an opportunity. But the transformation from locking into his community, following his ruling and plan, like what the way he ran his life, I just started to like get results. I started to get in better shape. My communication skills started to get better. I started to feel more confidence, more belief. My wife and I, was there a lot of pain from our past? Yes, I did a lot of damage. But my wife and I, we started to heal. We started to get closer. I was more present when I was at home, and I became a product of their training. A product. Like I did everything they said. I would text Evan every day, dude, what do I got to do next? What do I got to do next? And I was coachable. I was at a point in my life where I was like, dude, I've done everything my way from 18 years old all the way to now. And I get it now. I see like how I need to live and how I want to live. And so,
Mm,
dude, like I came to events, I trained, I grew, and my life was on fire. I just I couldn't believe that in about a year and a half time, I lost all this weight. I was doubling in numbers at work. I finally was just like feeling alive. I was finally feeling momentum, dude. And and anybody knows that have gone through crazy things in their life, you lose all your momentum, right? And when you lose all of your momentum, you start to operate at these super low frequency levels, shame, guilt, fear, anxiety. And that ruled my life: fear, anxiety, guilt, shame. And I didn't know how to get rid of that feeling apart from just numbing myself out, drugs, substance, lust, whatever it was. But I started to change. And when you live your life for decades, living in these perpetual loops, and then all of a sudden you meet somebody, you start doing what they say, and you start seeing progress in your life. At that point, dude, I was like, I was sold. I was like, dude, whatever I have to do to spend my life around you people, like I will do it. So I came to events, grew, my numbers blew up. And I remember I was living in Minnesota at the time. That's where I grew up. I've lived there from 1995 until about 3 years ago when I moved down here. But I remember that I was in the car business and was growing, accelerating. And Andy ended up throwing an event down in Chicago. 5 hour drive from me in Minneapolis. Didn't have to get on a plane to Arizona. Had some friends down and family down in Chicago area. Got in my car, went to the event with my wife and kids. My kids and wife were at my aunt and uncle's house, hanging out, chilling. And at the lunch break, I went up to Andy and I was like, dude, like, I mean, he'd seen the progress. He'd seen me lose a bunch of weight. And I was like, dude, like, I've been with Toyota for the last decade. My numbers have gone through the roof. You've seen the progress in my life over the last year and a half. Like, I'm going to come move down to Arizona. I'm just going to work for Toyota, in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area. Like, I don't care. I'm sick of Minnesota. I'm going to sell my house. Like, I got to get out of there. Like, I got to get out of there. And he looked me right in my face, and I will never forget this till the day that I die. He looked me in the face and he's like, dude, screw that. Just come work for me. And like, I literally, I like took a step back and I look behind me and I'm like, are you serious? He's like, I'm literally like, it's like one of the most surreal moments of my life. He's looking right at me and he's like, yeah, dude, I want you to come work for me. And the craziest thing about this whole entire story is that at that lunch break, Andy told me that he wanted me to come work for me. So I'm like, holy dude, this is it. I'm out of here. This is amazing. I get a notification on my phone and said, hey, your Discover card was just used at a Foot Locker in Chicago. I'm like, what? I was like, I'm here at the event. Dude, my car got broken into.
dude.
Someone stole my AirPods. Thank God they didn't take my driver's license. Thank God they didn't take my concealed carry card because those would have been the biggest pain to go back and renew. They took my credit cards. They took my AirPods. Left my driver's license. They left some of the other stuff in there. But dude, I didn't care. I was like through the roof, so excited. I couldn't believe it. Like I could not believe that I just put in this work, like wasted the last decade of my life, but for a year, I did exactly what someone told me to do and I got results. And then all of a sudden I got a position offered to me with Andy and didn't care that my car got broken into, AirPods, whatever, screw it. My own mother-in-law, she's still mad at me to this day because I didn't file a police report. I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna the crazy thing is, and like, I remember I called the Foot Locker store and I'm like, hey, I think someone just used my card. They're like, yeah, it was a man. We couldn't tell his skin color. He had a hood on. I was like, okay, yeah, good luck. Right. Lost my credit card, lost my AirPods. Dude, to this day, I can still see them, the location. I can see them like moving around in Chicago still. So I hope that, whoever they are enjoying their AirPods, they probably needed it more than me. And but just a funny
That's
story in that
wild.
moment. Yeah, just that funny story in that moment of like, yeah, my car got broken into, but I literally got back into my car. I left the event before it was even over because I was going to try to figure out what happened with my car. I texted Andy and the twins. I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming back. I'm just gonna go back to Minnesota. Love you guys. We'll see you soon. So I went back, Minnesota, put my house on the market. Took probably about 2, 3 months to get that done and sold. Ended up quitting my job in the automotive industry, and then literally packed up a U-Haul, my wife, 3 kids, moved to Arizona, and the rest is history. So that's like the 30,000 but
Yeah.
there's so many more stories, so many more things. But that's the path that led Luke, me to from where I was at to currently where I'm at now. And dude, like you said, frameworks, right? Like I never had a framework for my life. I never had a plan. I never had a blueprint. And the funny thing is, you mentioned kind of like about our events, like, you can't really understand it till you experience it. And that's 100% true. And it's the same, man. Like once you experience progress and growth in your life, it's like if you don't latch onto that, you're just going to revert right back to your old life. And I'm not even saying that out of like theory of a book that I read. That's me, my own life. Like I would get a little progress and then it would get uncomfortable. And then I would be like, well, I'm just going to go back to whatever I was doing before. And it would just always go back, always go back. And dude, like the perseverance and the discipline that has been instilled in me from the time I started training with Andy at 32, 5 years ago almost, like the growth is unreal. Like it's just unreal. And the crazy thing is that I'm in this environment. I've seen massive growth in my life, but I'm like, dude, like I'm looking up to this guy, Andy. I'm like, I'm not even close, right? Like I'm not even close to that next level. And so the key in everything, dude, in life, no matter like who you follow somebody that's always going to be growing, always going to be pushing the standard, always going to be pressing you because that's what I needed. And and
Yeah.
and 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 whoever you're following in your life, they need to be growing. They need to be excelling. They need to have standards that you're aligned with. And yeah, I wanted to be great at sales. Yeah, I wanted to be an amazing communicator, but I just wanted to live how Andy lived, close to God, in really good shape, amazing marriage, super close with his kids. That's what I wanted. And as I chased those things, the version of myself that needed to get those things, the money just came. Like I swear on my life. Like I chased money for my entire life, my entire teens, my entire
Mm.
20s. And it's just like it was this constant loop of just over and over and over and over and over again. But then I met the right people, right? And then I got into the right environment, and then everything changed. And now bro, I can't even like. Sometimes I just close my eyes and I'm like, dude, I can't even believe this. Like, I cannot believe that this is the life that I get to live, and this is the life that we get to bring other people into. I mean, you guys experienced it when you
Yeah.
were down here. Like, I don't care who the coach is, who the guru is. There is no team, no culture, no community like ours on planet Earth. There's none. We've looked, we've tried, we've seen them.
No.
Any of the influencers out there, any of them, any of the coaches, any of the sales trainers, they don't have a team. They don't have a great family life. They don't put God first. And so this is how I want to live, right? And
Yeah.
so yeah, man,
No, I love it.
that's
I
me.
love it.
That's kind of me in the 30,000 foot view. But yeah, I'll shut up and you can keep this thing moving.
Yeah, no, you're good. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's what this conversation is for. And one thing that I just want to that's important to highlight is that if you follow Andy, there's going to be people who listen to this who are very familiar, and then there's going to be people who have no idea. One thing that Andy does say is that it's a hero making machine around there, and that is what you really start to realize because if you peer into what the Elliott group is, and of course, it's not just Andy. He's the figurehead. He's the billboard. He's the one who catches the attention. He's the
Yep.
solo figure. But at the same time, um, once you start to realize that you have the Macklin twins, you've got Tommy, you've got yourself, you like
Yep.
every single person in the group that's an employee has a story like yours of transformation that is pretty incredible, and it's almost like a rite of passage, if you will. But it's also, like you said, product of the product. It's not just, hey, we're going to memorize a lot of closes. We're going to really understand the theory of a particular thing. We're going to, really, memorize the curriculum. It is not that. It
Yeah.
is, we're going to do life at a really, really high level, and we're going to make sure that it is undeniable that we are doing so, that people notice, and then once people notice, people are going to get interested, and then you're going to be able to help other people do that thing, and that's the cool thing about it. I do want to get in the framework, but like one last thing, like just from my experience being there. Um, Chelsea, this is my wife's first business conference ever, and so that was a treat for her. And I was really happy to be able to see her experience something like this because I've been to many different conferences in different industries for different reasons, and it is absolutely unique in that you do feel like you're part of just a really high performing team that not only cares about like putting on a great event, but really cares about each other, supports each other. And one thing, just kind of bottom line up front, is that I noticed is that your team, the thing that you don't get when you're just watching from the outside in, that you do get from the inside and experiencing spending time with you guys, is that I get the feeling, I get the sense that everybody cares about the personal professional transformation of the person, regardless of how that comes, and you create multiple environments for somebody to be able to do that. And so that's one thing that I was like, that's what really sets you guys apart is that if you want to be great at sales or business, you can do that. But that's like table stakes to a certain degree because that is like what you do as
Yeah.
as a craft. But at the end of the day, like Luke, you hooked us up with a bunch of restaurant recommendations. You were like, "Hey, plan for this type of outfit or whatever you might need." This you invited us to a private kind of dinner after the event, or meet up to network, build relationships. There's a workout, so
You
there's
went to church?
it went to church. Yeah, there's yeah. Somebody got baptized while we were there. I mean, like there's some sort of there is an avenue, there's an opportunity for anyone and everyone for whatever it is that is gonna take somebody to a different level that, "Hey, you were this, and now you're gonna at least get something that
Yeah.
is different, some kind of change that is not, um, communicated." You know what I mean? Like, you don't
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's really hard to communicate, like, you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
sell that.
Yeah, Andy says it this way, dude. He's like, "Dude, we just trick people." We say, "Hey, you guys wanna make some more money?" Everyone wants to make more money, right? And so that's our catch. "Hey, you wanna make some more
Right,
money?" And then once you get inside, you see the inside, it's like, "Whoa, like, what's there's people getting baptized, we're going to church, like, what's going on here?" Dude, the thing about it, like you said, it's like there's one thing to watch Andy online, and then another thing is to actually get inside the community and see it. And that's why I have the confidence and belief and certainty that we do have the best community on planet Earth. Guaranteed. I know we do. From top to bottom. We got ages, 18-year-old kids, we got 80-year-old people that are in our network in our community. And dude, this is what I say. Like, if you go online and watch Andy's content and you look in the comments, right? I mean, there's some of the comments under Andy's stuff. I don't even read them anymore because it's just funny to me, right? I don't really care. There's literally accounts online out there that their entire thing is making fun of, mocking the Elliott group. I mean, dude, our location is everyone knows where we are. Like, you can literally type the Elliott group. Our address is right here. Come on out anytime. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona, Fountain Hills to be exact. They never show up, dude. They're only online. They know exactly where we are. Most of the time it's a private account. But my point being in all this saying this is that I can understand 110% how someone could see a clip of Andy Elliott on a stage yelling, screaming, and you're like, dude, what is this? This is ridiculous. Like, this is stupid. Like, a guy in freaking short shorts, got veins all over his body, telling me to, I got to have a six pack or on fire. Like, this is stupid. I get that. I understand that. Like, dude, it's sometimes I'm like, dude, Andy, your content's freaking insane. But what I want to challenge people to do, and again, I know not everybody can come down here, but just come and see the fruit, right? I'm not telling you, like, don't look at the Instagram, the cussing, the short shorts. Look at the fruit. And if you look at every single man and woman that is close to Andy, every single one of them in our community that is close to Andy, they're close to God. They're in really good shape. They crush it in business. They take really good care of their family. They're really good to their wives. That's the fruit.
yeah.
And you can get mad at Andy the way he speaks, his messaging, all of that stuff. That's fine. I don't care. I see the families transforming. I see my own life transforming. I see Ben Jordan up on that stage that was
Crazy.
400 pounds,
Wow.
miserable, a loser, completely transform his life. I look at a guy like Eric Klein, one of the biggest wholesalers in the entire world, moves his entire company from North Carolina. He was doing great. He was fine. He wanted more. He came all the way out here. Him and his wife got in incredible shape. His son lost like 60 pounds. Fruit. I'm just talking fruit, like the actual fruit that you see. Look at anybody's life that gets close to our community. That's all I care about, right? And
Yeah.
so the guy talks about it in the Bible all the time, judge a man by his fruit. And
Mhm.
I look at the fruit of Andy's life. Has he made mistakes? Absolutely. Has he said some outlandish things? 110%. Does he have stuff in his past, just like me, that you can go up and look up and read about? Yes. Yes. We have nothing to hide. There's nothing inside of our company that we have to hide. Nothing. We are the most real people on planet Earth. We might offend some people. There might be some people that don't like our messaging. That's okay. There's 8 billion people in this world, and there's billions of people that are lost, not connected to God, not in good shape. They suck at their career. They're stuck. That's who we want to help. The people that want to judge Andy's short shorts and how he looks and how he brings his daughters on the stage. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we live in the age, dude, where everyone is just looking for something to be offended about. And so we're going to continue
Well,
our mission. Yeah. And our goals. So go ahead, dude. I didn't mean to cut you
yeah,
off.
no. Well, no, you're good. You're good. And I think you get to an important point is that like the less that you spend time online, the more you realize how warped the internet has created people or has
Yeah.
has made people because you start to have these habits of, you know, if you're living online and you don't actually interact with people, then that does become how you interact with just the world itself. And so then every person is just a 2D representation of whatever your perception is of them,
Yep.
when in reality they're 3D people who live a life in a different place that you know what I mean that
Yeah.
are just like you.
100%.
They're no different. All right.
100%.
So in the interest of time, I want to get with the framework.
Yeah. I'm ready for this, bro. I'm ready to learn. I got my notes and pad penned out too, bro. So I'm ready to get some wisdom, dude. I'm coachable. I'm committed. Whatever you got, I want some sauce, dude. Give it to me.
Hey, no, it's Andy's framework at the end of the
I
day.
know, dude.
So
I haven't even studied it. That's why I gotta get into it.
that's so
It's-
funny. So and you answered a question that I wasn't going to ask, but it's like all it is just hey, this is the book and that's what it is. But these are all things that you do, and they're all peppered into the experience that Chelsea and I just did. And so
yeah.
part of like what I was doing there was like, I wonder how this shows up. I wonder how this manifests, and so let's get into it. So the
Let's do
warrior
it.
framework is this. The first pillar is workout. And so um let me ask you this. The workout pillar. Why do you think that is important? And like what does working out like how does it change how somebody shows up in sales, leadership, and relationships?
Yeah, 100%. Well, what I for fitness for me personally, and Andy would probably attest to it too. It's obviously like we want to be in great physical shape, but what I love the most about the gym and working out is the result of how I feel afterwards, right? How I feel afterwards. And dude, sales, I don't care what you sell, roofs, real estate, insurance, houses, cars. Sales is the transfer of emotion. That's all it is. And so for me, I had to look into the mirror and be like, okay, when do I feel like emotionally like the best, right? When do I feel the best? And yeah, you can drink caffeine, nicotine, whatever these, stimulants are out there that can obviously put you in a certain mood. But I've done every drug into the book. I've drank alcohol. Like there's nothing in my life apart from the peace that God gives me, but there's nothing in my life that can change and rewire my brain than just getting in there and working on my body. And the thing is, I tell people this, and you see on my Instagram, I get up, I go to the gym at 3:30 in the morning. That's when I go. I had to do that to create margin in my life so that I can have some time with my wife and kids in the morning, get some studying in, get in the Word of God. so that I'm on fire when I get to work. And so to answer the question of like why working out is so important for me, for Andy, for our company, is because doing that hard thing right first thing in the day, getting all, I mean, dude, I'm 36 years old. I've been married a long time. I've been in sales for 15 years. Dude, I still wake up with fear. I still wake up with anxiety. I still wake up with worry. All the worries and pressures of the day, as soon as I wake up, it's like it just floods all over me. I can read and get in God's word. I 100% do that for sure. But apart from that, I haven't found anything that gets my head back into that space that I need to be in to be successful at sales. And so
That's good.
after I get up, after I don't hit the snooze button, I get up, I go do my workout. Yeah, it sucks for the first half an hour. I hate it, dude. I hate getting up that early. It's awful. But I hate even more who I am when I'm not in a good rhythm, when I'm not in momentum. And so sales is momentum. Sales is the transfer of emotion. And by creating that momentum and getting your emotions lined up first thing in the day, it just sets the tone for the entire day. I have energy the rest of the day. God, I don't even understand, bro. I swear to God, I probably sleep 4 to 5 hours a night. I have the Whoop band or whatever it is. And every day my Whoop band's like, do you need to go to bed at 3 o'clock this afternoon to recover? Sleep's important. I'm not telling people not to sleep, but the dreams, the goals, the aspirations that I have for my life don't allow for 8, 9 hours of sleep right now. Maybe later on in my life. But again, the workout, the W, for sales, it creates momentum and certainty in myself first thing in the day. And that's what I need.
Yeah.
Because if for me, dude, if I don't go work out, if I hit my snooze button, I miss the alarm, I wake up, I kind of drink some coffee, I feel weird all day. I feel weird. And I haven't found anything else that doesn't make me feel weird and kind of just anxious besides doing that hard stuff. And when I'm in flow state or whatever you want to call it, in momentum, dude, I can talk to people all day long, but if I'm tired, I'm drained, I don't feel good about myself, I feel guilty for not doing what I said I'm gonna do, I'm having that conversation and that battle in my head for the entire day. So working out
100%.
100% it's huge. Do you have to become a bodybuilder? No. Do you have to be like work out 2 hours every single day? No, dude, just get some movement into your life first thing in the day. Dude, sometimes I can't go lift weights for 2 hours. Putting on some worship music, a sermon, a podcast, and just going on a walk for an hour before I touch my phone, before I reply to one customer, before I talk to my wife, before I talk to my kids. That time is me, God, and myself. And I have to like every day. I wish it wasn't different. I wish it was different, but every day I have to recalibrate myself. I don't know how anyone
Yeah.
else way to do it. So 100%, that's working out is huge, dude. It's everything.
Yeah, it is. And it has definitely changed how I think about it. Like, I've heard it said this way: physiology drives psychology, and
Yeah.
it really is what it is. It's like when, despite waking up in the early, like waking up in the gloom, as we call it in F3, but like
Yeah.
you're waking up so early, despite that, and you're getting like quote less sleep. You still have more energy to go through the day. That's what I love about
Yeah.
working
And
out.
100%, dude. And two, people ask me, they're like, dude, how do you get up at 3:30 in the morning and do this? I'm like, guys, just pick your time. Your
Right.
time. Like whether it's 5 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., your time. And just stick to it. And in whatever the time that you set in your head and
Your
you do
body
it
will adjust.
consistently, yeah, yeah, 100%, your body will adjust. And then you're doing what you said you're gonna do. And you're going to the gym at 7, 5, 3. I don't care what time it is. Find your time and just stick to it. That's it.
Love it. All right. So A is for awareness. And so I've got a question for you on that. Awareness is really important, obviously. But like awareness sounds simple. Is that like, okay, I want to be aware of where I'm at, but why is it actually uncomfortable? When does
Being aware.
yes, when does awareness become uncomfortable and why do you think that is?
Well, dude, the thing about awareness, it's really just like heightening your senses a little bit, right? It's like having a better understanding of what's really going on. And with the day and age that we're in, the distractions of this, I mean, how many times, dude, throughout the day do you all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're like, dude, I've been scrolling for 20 minutes. I've been scrolling for 30 minutes. It happens all the time in anything. Or if you're at the gym, right? You get distracted. You start responding to texts or something. It's like distractions and are huge in that. But kind of a quick story. on awareness. And I train a lot of people in the automotive industry because that's the industry I'm from. But whatever your industry is, I tell this story all the time about awareness, right? And I talked specifically on the automotive side. I tell these guys, and it's any sales industry, if you treat whatever sales job that you're in like it's a 9 to 5, like whatever the house is going to give me, the leads, the phone calls, the fresh ups, if you treat your job like whatever I get from the business is all that I get, then you're going to get, paid 9 to 5 money, right? But if you can raise your level of awareness, right, to understanding that sales professionals that build an actual book of business, they go outside of what the dealership provides them for leads or lead sources or customers. That's how you go from 9 to 5 money to, business owner, entrepreneur type of money, right? And so the story on awareness is this. I was talking to some leaders in an automotive store about getting referrals and just kind of being in your community. Not that you're like in your community, in a suit passing out business cards, but I was trying to teach them about, like I said, awareness. When you're out in the community, when you're out at the gym, when you're at church, when you're at your kid's soccer game, are you aware enough? And this is what you said about getting uncomfortable, right? Because you're going to have to get uncomfortable. But are you aware enough to see the people around you in your church, in your gym? And this is an example for cars, but it could be for anything. Insurance. Most of these sales industry jobs, you're selling a product or service that 90% of the world needs, right? And so
Mm.
that awareness is so huge, especially in the sales world when you're networking, when you're out in the community. Dude, you're one handshake away, one relationship away from changing your entire life. And so to go back to the story, I was literally at a Five Guys burger restaurant getting some lunch for some of the guys on my team at the dealership. And you're waiting in line for your food. And what are we doing? We're waiting in line. We're scrolling on our phone, right? We're just kind of waiting the time pass. There was a guy behind me, looked sharp, dressed nice. And I kind of just looked back, saw him, and I was like, dude, that guy looks kind of interesting. And struck up a conversation with him. I was aware. I noticed something.
Right.
Had to get a little uncomfortable, right? Just striking up a conversation. It's true. Come to have a little conversation with him in the line. Well, the guy's a business owner. Imagine that. Sharp looking guy. He's a business owner. Weird. It's weird. There's just business owners walking out in the world during the day. Had a conversation with him, built some familiarity, had a connection point. I think one of his kids went to a school I used to play. I don't know what it was exactly, but I made a connection. Find out he's a business owner. Find out that he has a fleet of vehicles that he has to replenish inside of his business every year. If I wasn't aware, if I didn't get uncomfortable and just have a little conversation with the guy behind me, the guy ended up buying 10 to 20 cars from me every year for his fleet. One conversation.
Yeah.
But if I was not aware, if I was distracted, scrolling TikTok, looking at nonsense, wouldn't have had the conversation. So awareness, it's everything, and it's everything in your life, dude. Your marriage, like if your marriage is going down a path that you don't want it to go, are you aware enough to actually be able to recognize that? Go have an uncomfortable conversation and deal with the issue. You got a kid that's like going off the rails, black sheep kid, going crazy, getting party and drugs. Are you going to just let them continue down that path? Or are you going to go have an uncomfortable thing? So awareness and uncomfortability probably are always going to go hand in hand. I really think they will. But e- everything you want in life is on the other side of being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
So raising that awareness, yeah, it's going to be maybe uncomfortable sometimes, and maybe you're going to have to go shake a hand or have a conversation you don't want to have. But the other side of that, being aware, going to and getting uncomfortable is going to produce massive growth. So yeah, that's I love that. That's fire. Awareness it's huge, dude. It's huge.
Absolutely. It's absolutely key. You gotta know where you are to start moving to where you wanna go, and if you
Yep.
don't one thing that I really love about the Elliott, community is the relationship that you guys have with the truth, because, that is something like, it's one thing to say, "I'm real," or, to just verbalize truth as a thing,
Yeah.
but to really have a relationship with the truth, you've gotta be very comfortable getting uncomfortable because that oftentimes the truth is going to be uncomfortable, but it is the awareness that you need to get to growth. And so that's why that's why the videos that go viral for Andy, take your shirt off or
Yeah.
whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing though. Like it took, oh gosh, what was his name? Drop, he was 400 pounds.
Oh, Ben Jordan. Yeah.
Ben Jordan. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
he had to get aware before he could
100%.
start.
Yep.
Um, You mentioned relationships. That was a great story about relationships because, so R, the first R in Warrior
Yeah,
is relationships, and so that was a great story that illustrated that. But to kind of take it one rung deeper, um, how do you coach people who want results but resist accountability? Because the
yeah,
relationship of accountability, like accountability, has been something that I've really started to understand over the last probably year, and how important it is to spur somebody into growth. I know that I will slip, I will fall back, I will drift if I don't have somebody else holding me accountable to do the thing. I know it for sure, and I'll still not ask for it, or
yeah,
you know, uh, but you can't hold yourself accountable, and so
yeah.
you have to have somebody else. And so, how do you coach people who want results but resist accountability?
Well, for me, and this is just my life, I have me personally, I have the highest levels of belief, certainty, and confidence in myself when I have the highest levels of accountability in my life. They have to go hand in hand for me. And so people that want to get results in their life without accountability are not going to get results because you have to have accountability. Maybe you'll be able to get some results on your own, maybe some little changes here and there, but for true change, true results, you have to have it. The only reason I'm able to go to the gym as early as I do is because I got 2 guys that'll text me, call me in the morning, and they're sitting at the bottom of my driveway, either waiting for me to come get in the car and drive, or I'm getting to go wait in their car and go to drive. That's it. But if I didn't have that set up, yeah, I'm gonna hit the snooze button. Oh, I'm gonna go at 5 today. Oh, I'll go at 6 tomorrow. So people that are saying, "Hey, I want to change or I want results," but don't hold me to it, they're fooling themselves, right? Because
Absolutely.
you may be able to get results, you may be able to get some traction in your life, but dude, look at anybody in life that's done anything big, and you would have to look around them, and ultimately, maybe their downfall came because they didn't have accountability. But if you look at anybody that's built anything big in life, to get to where they had to go, they had accountability lined up in their life. And so it's hard because there's nothing as a coach, as a mentor, as a trainer, whatever you want to call it, there's nothing more exhausting than dragging people along to be great, right? Like, hey, Aaron, dude, look at this life. This is the life we're living. All you got to do is this, 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 this. We're gonna hold you to that. Come on, let's go do it. And they're like, "Ah, I'm good, dude. I don't want to be, I don't want to be held to that." That's exhausting. But the
Yeah.
guy that's like, dude, tell me what's next. Tell me what's next. Tell me what's next. It's the same as like if you're a fitness trainer, like the guy that doesn't show up to the training sessions or do what you say you're going to do, or how much more are you going to want to pour back into him? You're not.
Right.
So, in any relationship in your life, whether it's your marriage with your boss, your business, for it to grow, for you to grow, you have to have accountability in there. Yeah, it's 100% true. And I hate accountability, dude. I hate it. I hated accountability from ages 18 until 32. I still struggle with it, but I know that if I don't have accountability, I'm going to let myself slide. My confidence will go down, and it's just from there, right? So,
Yep.
yeah, relationships and accountability and results, it's huge. It's everything.
100%. All right. So next R is recreate. And so that is the key phrase in the book. It's total recreation is the book. And then recreation is what you guys talk about, doing not only I've heard Andy say in trainings, like there's people who recreate one time a year, and we're in the top of 2026 as we record this. Like they're going to
Yeah.
recreate on January 1st, and then that's it. And then there's
Yep.
gonna people who recreate, maybe once a month, but the person that can recreate every single day, that plus one, plus one, plus 1% every single day is the one who's gonna be light years ahead of anybody else.
Uh
And
huh.
so, um, one thing I wanted to ask you about on just the concept of recreation, or maybe we just think about it, why do you think it's important to have a whole life recreation because a lot of times I think people are trying to change one thing. They're trying to
Uh
change
huh.
one aspect of, hey, I need to make more money, or I just need to have a better relationship with my wife, or whatever it is. It's like one thing that is specifically people are locked in on, but it seems to be that you guys talk about recreation from a holistic point of view, and it that is the thing that actually makes everything that one thing stick at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I didn't really frame up a specific
No, it's
question,
good.
but
No, no,
but what
I get what you're
what do you
saying.
think
Yeah,
about
but
that idea?
yeah, 100%, dude. I mean, yeah, every person's gonna have different areas of their life that they may need more growth than the next person. And that kind of boils down to our entire message that we talk about. It's chase the man, not the money. So not like chase the version that Aaron wants for his life for Luke. No, chase who does Luke want to become?
Yeah.
And that's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Some guy might be on fire with God, but he's out of shape. He's not doing good in business. So then he knows that that man, that version of himself that he wants to chase is those things, right? And so it's a little bit different for every single person, right? And again, recreating and can look different in different seasons of life depending upon where you're at. And it comes down again to that kind of constant self-evaluation. It's like I grew up playing video games, Madden and all these sports games. You remember you like create your own player, right? You create
Yeah,
a
yeah.
player and then they'd have the list of all their attributes, right? Like the speed, passing, whatever the stuff. And like you'd earn points and you could add to their attributes. That's all life is really, dude. Like you get to create your own character. God has a plan for every single one of our lives that he's written before the beginning of time, but he's given us the free will to create our own life inside of that, and it's amazing. It's I can't even believe it. Like, it's mind-blowing, like, that God has a plan for my life, he already wrote it, but I still have the free will to, like, to build it. It's amazing. But I don't know, like, if that kinda wrapped back around the question, but
No, it's
recreation yeah, recreation is gonna look different for every single person, right? There may be strong areas for you that might not be for me. And so again, that comes back to like that what I said there earlier is chase the man, not the money. And I don't really like making 1 year plans. I usually plan in like 3 months, 90-day stuff. But every year, dude, this is what I do. I imagine if we're on, New Year's Day or New Year's Eve of 2025, I imagine myself sitting New Year's Eve the following year, the next year. And what does my bank account look like? What does my relationship with God look like? What does my body look like? What do my kids look like? What are my wife and my relationship look like? What do I want to recreate? And then you just kind of reverse engineer it backwards. Whatever that dollar amount is, whatever that money that you want to make, whatever that body you want to have, whatever those relationships are. And so yeah, daily recreation it's 100% necessary. You have to have it. I mean, dude, the Bible talks about it that every day you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Every day. It doesn't say once. It says every single day. And that goes back to the thing with the fitness thing, dude. I still wake up with fear. I still wake up with anxiety. I still wake up with doubt. I still wake up with all the stuff and I got to rewire this thing because this thing plays tricks. Dude, sometimes I don't even know if it's my thought, if it's a thought from God, if it's from the devil. Like I don't know sometimes, bro. Like if I'm being completely honest, like I don't
yeah.
know. But I have standards in my life that I've set. I have examples to look to in Andy and our team, and then I have God's word, right? And that's how I align my life. And God is going to continually be renewing you, growing you, sanctifying, whatever you want to call it. And I think, and again, this is kind of a different tangent, but creation in general, like I think one of the biggest misconceptions that the church has done is that once you raise your hand and you're like, hey, I want to follow God or I want to follow Jesus, that like your life is just somehow going to be on this perfect upward trajectory until you get to heaven. It doesn't work like that.
No.
Like
It
like
does not.
Jesus was baptized, filled with the Holy Spirit, and then instantly he was sent into the wilderness to be tempted directly by the devil for 40 days. He was in the Garden of Gethsemane at the end of his life, sweating blood, asking God, "Do God please take this away from me? Like there's got to be another way to do this." But he pushed through the temptation. The pinnacle of his life, it was riddled with temptation. God gave him an opportunity to make a choice to get in or get out. He could have said no. Could have walked away. He was fully God, fully man. This isn't a gospel message or anything like that, but we're talking about recreation and regeneration. And again, the church made this mistake of like, hey, you raise your hand and say you want to follow Jesus, and now your life's going to be on this perfect trajectory. No, it's not. Dude, the devil knows what I like. The devil knows what you like. And as you rise in your life, as you're recreating, you're growing, you're cutting off the old stuff in your life, you're getting rid of the old habits, the old mindset. In my experience, maybe it's just me, I doubt it, but as I've risen in life, The devil has come right alongside, dude, with temptation of all the stuff that I like all the way to the top. It's still there. I'm one bad choice away. I'm
Mm.
two bad choices away. I'm one location going one place I shouldn't be away from wrecking my entire life, just like you, just like anybody. But that daily commitment to recreation, it's vital because
Yep.
we're humans. Our hearts are flawed. So yeah, it's so important.
No, no, that's really good. That's really good because I think what to underline on that is the creation of, because like what are you creating at that point? You know, it's not like a we're not restarting anything. We're starting something new. Like we're not like it's not like
We're not
we got to start.
resetting.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
we're not
it. That's it.
resetting. Yeah. Yeah,
We're
we're identifying the things in our life that need some new life breathed into them, that need some
yes.
regeneration. And that's dude, like you've been married for a while. I've been married for 11 years. I have to continue to nurture and build this relationship with my wife every single day. It's just like my
Every day.
relationship with God. Every day, dude. Dude, me and my wife could have the stupidest, dumbest argument over the dumbest thing. But if we don't address it right there, we don't regenerate our relationship, we don't breathe some new life into it, that little stupid fight over some dirty dishes or an unmade bed or laundry, whatever it is, can morph into, like Jackie calls it, death by a thousand paper cuts, right? Like those little things, if we don't identify it, don't have the awareness to regenerate it, breathe some new life into it, it's
Yep.
gonna blow up, dude. There's been many seasons in my marriage that I've been married 11 years that we should have broke up. Like she should have left me many times. She didn't. Praise God. Thank God she didn't. But we didn't know how to communicate. We didn't know how to identify. I mean, we saw the problems, but we didn't know how to breathe new life into it. We didn't know how to regenerate. We didn't know how to like recreate. Like we're saying,
Well,
like
let me
there's
let me ask
yeah.
you.
Go ahead.
I'm cutting you off because
No,
it
you're
it
good.
dovetails right into the next one, which is It's
And
integration.
by the way, bro, by the way, bro, my guy, my next thing, I still got 30 minutes. So we're good. We don't need to rush or fly. I got 30 minutes. So take as much time until 5:30
Yeah,
my time. We're good. So
cool. I wanted to yeah. I don't want to take too much of your time, especially if you
you're
got
good,
some.
bro. I love this. I love this stuff, dude. This is amazing.
So as far as integration goes, so like you're talking about we're talking about recreation, and then you just started mentioning about how you and your wife, like I totally can relate. My wife and I have been married for 12 years, and so you and I relate in a lot of ways because I'm
How
36
old are
as
you
well,
guys
and so
again? Yeah, you're 36. Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
So
You look way younger than that. So I hope I do
no,
too.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. Likewise. So as far as integration goes though, like I think that is one thing that I've missed a lot for a long, 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 long time is really understanding how to properly integrate the personal life that I am having with the personal life of another person that has different thoughts and ideas and dreams and goals and passions and whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, how have you um what have you learned from your experience with the Elliott group on how to better integrate these new ideas like as you go in because like I guess one way to frame it up is as you start living more intentionally and you start having results and you start creating momentum, you start to realize like, man, I can really be a change agent in my own life. And that's really exciting. But that doesn't mean that everybody's on the same path, at the same speed, at the same time for the same things. So it's really important that you sometimes, like how do you integrate that? If somebody's going on a slower pace or just not that far ahead of you or whatever.
Mhm.
So like you could put it into a sales context of like, hey,
Yeah.
you're catching fire and you've got momentum from sales and
Mhm.
years and years of experience, but you have somebody that is not as experienced in sales or whatever, and you're
Yeah.
trying to integrate them into your team and into your culture. Or you
Yeah.
could do it from a relational point of view for your wife of like, hey, like I don't know, whatever that would be, like,
Mhm.
you're integrating your,
Yeah.
newest kid or whatever, you're trying to build a lifestyle. I mean, you faced an integration issue, I'm sure, or a challenge when you're
Ba
trying to like
basically
integrate your
yeah,
professional life to a whole new location, right?
yeah, I think I get what you're tracking at, like, how do you integrate the personal development, your marriage, your life, like, how do you integrate it all
How do you
together where it's yeah, is that what
how do
am I
you
getting at that?
Yeah, you are. How do you make it like a more of a practice? Because there's really not a step by step, right? It's
Yeah,
everything is going to be unique, whatever
yeah,
it is, because relationships are dynamic. But how can you
yeah,
make that a practice on a regular basis that you do?
yeah,
Just like you're going to the gym every day.
yeah,
How could you integrate every day intentionally?
yeah. Yeah, 100%. Well, basically what I'm hearing is, like, how do I take information that I'm getting throughout my life? How do I take that as I'm growing, as I'm developing, and how do I mesh it into my life? Maybe not by like a step by step way, but how do I take new information, new habits, new skills, and mesh it all together? Am I hearing that right?
Yeah,
Somewhat?
like how to ensure that you are not going solo and losing the value of making it a part of, because like everybody has well, not everybody, but you're not leaving other people behind. The one thing, let me put it this way:
Yeah.
the thing for
I'm
inner.
tracking. I'm not lost. I'm tracking. Yeah, keep going. That's
Okay,
good.
cool. So like one thing that I value about this framework and the integration piece is that you guys talk a lot about like bring your wife with you, bring your husband with you,
Yes.
bring your family with you,
Yep.
and that's evident at the experience too. There's kids there and all this kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
very normal. Um,
Yeah.
but like, how do you really start to introduce that or make it a practice when it hasn't been? I'm trying to
Yes.
think about the
100%.
person who's
So
kind of on
yeah,
square
I
step
got you.
one.
Yeah, I got you. So do you hear it all the time in the world. They talk about work-life balance. You've heard that before, right? Work-life balance. It's a myth. It's a lie. Anybody that's looking for balance in their life is looking for comfort. Comfort kills your dreams, it kills your destiny. And so, yeah, we have people in our events that have families, young kids. We got, all of us have families and young kids. All of us are in the gym. All of us are in business. There's so many different moving pieces inside of our life. And I spent so many years of my life trying to balance it, right? And balance means that there's like always going to be equal times and buckets for each area of your life. The gym, that's all fine and dandy to want that, but we're not naive enough and you're not naive enough to know that like life happens, stuff changes. And so as you're going to integrate life, family, business, all these things together, it become difficult, it become overwhelming, and I talked to you again about why I get up so early and go to the gym. It's so that I can integrate family into my life, into my business, into my working out. I get up at 3:30 in the morning so that when I get home at 5, I can spend some time in the Word of God that's integrating my faith into my life, and then from there, I have some time to spend some time with my wife and kids for an hour, half hour before they get up and go on with their day, right? And so if I didn't integrate all of these things together, creating margin in my life to where I can do this, I would probably see my wife and kids, 15, 20 minutes a day. I don't want that. I don't want to be the guy that's at the office, 10 hours a day and then I give my kids and wife leftovers when I get home. And so again, to integrate wife, kids, business, it's like you just have to just mesh it all together and it's not always going to be perfect. I love time blocking. Don't get me wrong. I love looking up the next day and being like, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to do this. And from this time, I'm going to do this. I love that. I need that structure in my life. But there's going to be days where a kid is sick. There's going to be days where your wife isn't feeling good. There's going to be days where a customer shows up for an appointment or has to reschedule and do something differently. And so to integrate all of these things into our life, we have to be very intentional, but we also have to be kind of flexible, right? Of like, we're not always going to be able to maybe spend 2 hours studying every day, but can we spend 20? Yeah, we can do 20. I'm not always going to be able to spend 1 hour with my wife and kids intentionally, but can I give them all my heart and soul and strength for 30 minutes? Yeah, I can. I can do that in the morning. So like it's balance is a myth. Like there's no such thing as work life balance. If you want a balanced life, go work a 9 to 5, work enough so you can pay your bills, pay off your mortgage, and then hopefully, retire and take a couple vacations before you die. That's work life balance. I don't want that. I want to
Yeah,
integrate every piece of my core values, my standards for my life into my life. And again, you heard the message this weekend. Close to God, really good shape, take really good care of your family, kick ass in business and leadership. That's it. That's
Mhm.
it, dude. So, like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to just be flexible. There's gonna be days where you don't show up as well for business, but you do better as a father. Progress, not perfection. That's how you integrate it. It's just progress, man. How can I work these things into my life, into my schedule?
Yeah.
100%. So I hope that
I think
I always understand what you're saying. I
Yeah,
hope I
yeah.
kind of unpacked it a little bit better, but that was good, dude. That was a good one.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think that, one word comes to mind when I think about integration, and that is love. The leader's secret weapon is love, and like how you can make man like if there's a question, it's like, well, what would the loving version of me do? And that's probably a great compass for navigating what proper integration looks like.
Yeah, dude, or,
Um,
like, or even like if I did this, would I be proud of myself?
mm,
Let's ask yourself that. Like, if I did this, and dude, I have to ask myself that all the time. Dude, I still have crazy thoughts. I still have temptations. Like,
yeah,
dude, if I do this, am I going to be proud of myself? And if you can't answer no or yes, then you probably shouldn't do it. But
right.
again, do I make mistakes? Yes, every day I make mistakes, dude. I do stuff all the time. So that's good, man. That was a good one to unpack.
All right, let's rock the last two here. Ownership, ownership. So, um, just talk to me about ownership, man. Like, what changes when somebody stops blaming circumstances?
We live in a victim culture, right? We live in this culture that, oh, because I'm a woman, I can't do this. Because of my skin color, I can't do that. Like, because I was born this way, because my dad treated me this way, I can't do that. And we've created this culture in the world that takes 100% ownership of your life off of the individual, right? And it's going to look at the economy, whoever's the president, the way people in the government are treating people. Like, it's and
Your
dude, there's
boss?
people. Yeah, they're my boss. Yeah, there's literally people in my own inside of my own family that are completely lost to this victim mentality mindset. And the victim mentality is basically saying, I'm not responsible for my life, right? I'm not responsible. I don't have to take ownership for it. It was my dad's fault. It was my ex's fault. It was my boss's fault. It's because of my skin color's fault, because of my sexual orientation, whatever it is. And dude, like, it's such a lie. It is such a lie that the culture has. I don't know where it comes from. I mean, there's so many. I don't know, but it's crawling all over our society. The victim mentality, it's because people are unhappy with their life and they're looking outside of everything else instead of taking ownership and taking control of their life. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. If you live in this country in 2026 and you want to win, you can. Dude, one of my favorite things, and this isn't like a race thing or anything, one of my favorite things is dealing with young men that are of color and looking them in the face and telling them, dude, society, the media, culture, they're going to tell you that because of who you are, that you're never going to make it. That because of what your skin color is or because of your past, that automatically disqualifies you. It's not true. You are in complete control of your life. And if you can take ownership of your own life, no matter what your skin color is, you can accomplish whatever you want in this life. But we have the media, we have culture, we have all these people saying, because you're this way, you can't do that. Because you're that way, you can't do that. And it's removed, like you said, the word ownership. It's not my fault. It's their
Yeah,
fault. It's his fault. It's that fault. It's this fault. Unless you take ownership of your life, you will fall victim to that mindset. I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to accomplish anything. And whatever
yeah,
you're looking for in life, you're going to find, Aaron. Like, if you're looking
exactly.
for race, if you're looking for prejudice and racism all day long, open this baby up and scroll for 2 minutes and you're going to find it everywhere. If you're looking for winning, if you're looking for people changing their life, it's there. So what path do you want to choose? And again, my dad's a pastor. I have a very fortunate upbringing. I do not have anything crazy in my past. People in life have gone through some horrific, horrible, terrible things based upon their social demographic, their skin color. I'm not naive enough to say that. But I also know, and I've seen the stories, I've seen the fruit of people, no matter their skin color, no matter what their background was, take ownership of their life and change.
Yeah. It's really about owning the narrative, right? Like instead of,
That's it.
I think something that you painted there was just the fact that like we always have something is going to try and tell us the story about our own life. But really taking ownership is about, no, I own the story about my own life and I'm going to take ownership of this life and tell the story that I want to tell. And
Yeah,
this is what it is.
that's it.
Um, awesome. All right, so reach. Reach is the last R, man. We're gonna bring it home so you can get to this next call. I know you're a busy guy. So
We're
uh
good, bro. I love this. I can't wait to listen back to this. And
yeah, I'm gonna get you
I,
I'm gonna hook you up with some clips too.
yeah, I'm amazing, bro. That's awesome. I'm pumped, dude. This has been amazing. You're not holding me up. You are not doing. I'm here. I want to be here. This is amazing.
Awesome, man. Um, so when it comes to reach, how do you define impact?
That's a great question. And impact for me, like how would I define it? You're asking. How would I define impact? I think impact. I mean, it's in the general term, like when two things come together, like that's impact, right? It's two things kind of coming up against each other, right? So for me, impact is when you come up against another individual, another business, another person, whoever, and when you come together, butt heads or just meet, converge, come together, relationship, like leaving that changed, leaving that with some sort of new idea, new framework, new belief. That's impact. We go to my church is called Impact Church, right? That's what we're called, and that's
Yeah.
and that's what we're about, right? We're about clashing. Not maybe not clashing is the wrong word, but coming head to head with culture, with other people, and leaving them different through the love of Jesus, obviously. But in general, impact I think is when two things come together and they leave different, good or bad. I mean, like a car accident, impact, dead people, crushed cars. It can be good or bad.
Mhm.
Impact is not always a good thing, right? So good impact, obviously, is two people coming together, getting new ideas, building a new relationship. Obviously, bad impact. I mean, it's simple, but yeah, impact is that's what I want in my life, dude. Like if you were to boil it all down, like when I'm sitting on my deathbed at the end of my life, whenever that is, Lord willing, it's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years from now. I don't know when it's going to be. It's going to come. And all I want, dude, at the end of my life, I want everybody around me and everybody that ever knew who I was. I just want them to say about me that my life was better being around that guy. My life was better being around that guy. My relationship with my wife was better because being around that guy. My relationship with God was better because of that guy. My fitness, my sales career was better because of that guy. Impact. And dude, that's the beauty of the world that we're in, the coaching space, the personal development space, is that my eyes will probably never see the full picture of the impact that our company, myself, and everyone on our team has had. I mean, dude, think about it, man. We got guys that come down here, business owners. Dude, we've had people come down here. They're like, man, I want to make more money. They come down here. They somehow get into the church service. They accept Christ. They get baptized. They go back and maybe don't necessarily make more money, but all of a sudden their family starts to change. Like, dude, the ripple effect of that is. I mean, Ben Jordan lost 400 pounds. He's got 5 kids, all of their stories, all of my kids' stories, all of your kids' stories, your family stories, like the impact, I will never see it. I hope someday when my life is over that I'm able to somehow get the movie reel play back and see the number or see the impact.
Oh
I
yeah,
know ultimately,
I want
yeah,
to
I know, but yeah, dude,
I
that's what I want. I want impact.
absolutely. I hope God does a, Aaron Dunn Wrapped. That's what I want. Like Spotify Wrapped, it's like
Yeah,
I used
yeah.
to make the joke of like,
Mm.
man, you ate like 3,200, like it's probably more than that, like 32,000, peanut butter sandwiches. It's like
Yeah,
I want
this is the full
stats.
summary. Hey, but
Yeah,
you like you're a big hip hop music guy, aren't you? I think we remember we were talking
I
about that a little
enjoy it.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I don't understand, bro. I'm a white boy from the suburbs. My dad's a pastor. I've always loved hip hop music. The lyrics, probably not the cleanest, probably not the best, but I don't know why it just that the beats, it just puts me in this zone. I grew up playing sports and being in the gym. I don't know about it, dude. You saw I went to the Clips concert. That was like probably
Oh
like
yeah,
6,
that
7
was
months
dope.
ago. Dude, I've been literally I've been following those guys since I was like, 13 years old. But I don't know, dude. I don't not saying people gotta listen to hip hop music. For me, it just puts me in the zone, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love the beat. I love all that stuff. So anyway, we can do the hip. We'll do the best hip hop records of the last 20 years. And you and I will do that. That's what we'll do for the next podcast. Because I
It
could go all
sounds
day
good.
long on that.
All right, man. Well, to wrap this up, I think I really appreciate your time, man. And one thing, just the final point on reach is that like one thing that I've noticed about you guys, especially you, but it's the reach aspect is like being of service. You guys are like about like seriously about serving another individual, and however that may come up. And so that's the warrior framework, the warrior pillar. Now that you know it,
Just
I'm glad that I got to
but dude, don't
teach
yeah,
you
yeah,
what it
don't
is.
tell Andy. Yeah, yeah, don't tell Andy I didn't read his book. Yeah. I've read most of it, but I honestly like if I would have known it, I would have told you. But I don't think I've studied it. So now I'm
Yeah, but the
you
thing
challenge me.
is like
You're causing me to grow. You're holding me accountable.
yeah, to for but I think one thing that is cool is that you also already embody everything about the warrior framework just because of everything else that you have done, and it might not be in you didn't do it letter by letter, you didn't learn it from the book
Yes.
necessarily, but I think that's what the magic is, and that's what I try to that's what I'm up to when it comes to Power Acronym because you know any ChatGPT could create all these freaking acronyms that
Yeah.
I'm, painstakingly writing. But at the end of the day, what actually matters about them is the meaning that's inside them only exists if you take them seriously and you make them what they are in your life. And so, like, if you're an example of a warrior because you do these things, and it makes the framework evident because uh, of your actions, not just because the words are on the page. And the cool thing about it is that anybody can actually get quick access to what is Luke Nelson up to by just looking at the framework, right? And it's like it gives you a quick hit of, oh, well, if I do these things, then I'm a little bit closer to the version that I want to be that I see inside Luke. And so, man, I really appreciate this conversation. I will get this up and
Yeah.
get you linked up to it. For anybody who's interested at the end of this conversation, what's the best way to connect with you and maybe the Elliott group?
Yeah, dude. Well, number one, anybody can text me. I'm on this dang thing 24/7, 365, and I like to take pride. I don't like pride and ego, but I take pride in the fact that I truly believe I'm one of the most responsive people that I know, and that maybe sounds ego filled and pride, but I saw a clip on Instagram one time, and it was this lady giving this interview, and she's like, "I was dating this guy. He was super super successful, super busy, had all these people he was responsible for, but he was the most responsive person that I've ever been around. He would always reply, always quickly, always on it. And he was so busy, I couldn't understand it. She asked him why, and he's like, it's a sign of respect, right? It's a sign of respect being responsiveness. And ask anybody that's in Andy's brotherhood is kind of his inner circle. I got a guy that he's like, dude, Andy's texting me at 12 o'clock at night. Andy's texting me at 1 in the morning. Like he's always responding back. Sometimes I don't even understand if that guy even sleeps. But again, the long and short of it is this is a little fun tip. Responsiveness, it's a sign of respect, right? So anybody that wants to be in my life and they're reciprocating either the value or the relationship that I'm giving back, I want them in my life, dude. I'm a collector of people, dude. I want good people in my life. I want people around me that want to grow. And anything that I've learned in my life through failure or through success, I want to help the guy that's maybe 2, 3, 4 years behind me. And so the best way to get a hold of me, and I will respond, just text me 952-412-9132. You can text me there, or I have Instagram. You type in official Luke Nelson. I have the most basic white boy name possible, Luke Nelson. Easy to find. Honestly, if you probably type in Luke Nelson, it'd probably be the first one at the top. But official Luke Nelson is my Instagram. Andy Elliott is, you literally go on YouTube, Instagram, type in Andy Elliott. You're going to see him everywhere. Go on Google. He's everywhere. But yeah, anyone wants to reach out to me, just shoot me a message. Hey, what's up? I heard the podcast. What's going on? I love it, dude. Relationships are the new currency. I swear to God. Collect really good people in your life. If you can collect 100 really good people in your life, you're going to be a millionaire.
Absolutely.
Collect 100 really good relationships, the guys you can reach back and help, and the guys that are a few years ahead of you. Collect those people, dude, and you'll be rich. I swear to God. So, yeah, reach out, man. I'd love to connect.
Yeah, I can attest to that, Luke. You're extremely responsive. Extremely,
Mm.
extremely.
I
If I had
I had some I had someone message me. Someone messaged me one time like, "Why do you text so fast?" I'm like, "I don't know. You texted me. You texted me. You said what's up, so I responded." I was like, "I don't know."
yeah,
Dude, I
I've
got
always
people.
appreciated that.
I literally have, and it's a respect thing for me, dude. Because I have people. I got people in my own family. I got people that are super close to me. I'll send them a message. They'll leave me on red for weeks. I'm like, dude, like, what do you got on in your life? Like that's like I'm your friend. I'm your family member. Like, what's really going on? But respect. I respect anybody that's responsive. And that's in decisions too, man. Like, quick.
Yes,
I love speed. Speed. Money follows speed. So
yes, absolutely. Speed is a force. All right, dude.
that's it.
Oh, appreciate you. We'll see you next time,
Much
and
love. Thank
yeah,
you,
we'll
brother.
connect soon.
Appreciate you. God bless.